Yorkshire in pole position after Lyth and Root hundreds. Kent struggled on day 2 at the Spitfire ground. Darren Stevens provided the majority of their resistance before the hosts were skittled for 265, 114 behind Yorkshire, who added 6 unbeaten in the evening. They'd lose Cola Cadmore early though. Grant Stewart was the man to hand Kent some hope, the opener out for 3. Lyth and Loughton ensured Yorkshire would make it past 50 without any more losses, the former England opener in good touch after his first innings knock. He'd add to that with another 50, this time scored off 59 balls, and Yorkshire really romping on to take their lead up towards 200 runs now. 3 figures was the next target for the visitors, but they'd have to reach that without Loughton. Out, LBW to Milnes for 21. Lyth and Root did bring the 100 up for Yorkshire. They took their side to the interval with the score 113 for 2, and their lead now 227. The partnership developed after lunch. Test match experience on show from the pair as they looked to control the game. Their lead soon worth 250, and their session kept getting better. The score now 150, and Yorkshire was stretching their lead. After falling just short in the first innings, Lyth was successful this time around. A century was sealed, even if the shot didn't reflect the elegance of his innings. They'd finally reach an early tee on 171 for 2. They were leading their hosts by 285. Root was now the man looking for his first milestone knock of the season. He looked to put a scratchy start to the campaign to bed. He made his way to 50 with the score now closing on 200. A trademark shot took the England skipper to the total, scored off 84 balls, with the all-important shot just its 4th boundary. But with the pair looking solid, Lyth had to go. A miscue off Milnes was enough, and he headed back to the hutch for 116. Harry Brook was an able replacement for the departing opener, and immediately settled into his task, Denley disappearing for 6 here. Before long, the pair had taken the score past 300, and Brook was closing in on a 50 of his own. That came off just the 53rd ball he faced, a single enough to get him there. Attention then turned to the other end, with Root in the 90s. And the first century of the season was his, with a well-run 2 off Denley, scored off 138 balls. Root had played his way back into some form. But that would be that for the Yorkshire star. Denley's reply was immediate. Root bowled, attempting an uncharacteristic swipe across the line. Thompson and Brook shared a ballistic next over, culminating in this 6 off the bowling of Leaning. Denley ended their fun in the next over though. The maximum, Thompson's only contribution. Bowled, and Patterson took the opportunity to call his side back in, declaring with the score 330 for 5. Kent set 444 to win. The visitors had enjoyed their day. Lyth and Root's centuries steered them to a position of real dominance ahead of the 4th innings. Denley's late flurry came courtesy of some aggressive hitting. He finished with figures of 2 for 61. Yorkshire's bowling innings continued in the same vein as their batting one. Jordan Cox went early, bowled by a hooping Willie Yorker. Bell Drummond was now joined by Crawley, and the captain looked to play his way into some form. But his England international colleague couldn't make it through to the close. 4 all that he could muster, and Kent found their way to the close of play with the score 33 for 2, the hosts still in need of an unlikely final day 412.